Good afternoon, Janvi Bhindarkar. Good afternoon, Santosh Umashankar. Good afternoon, Trupti Vasade. Good afternoon, Rutuja Somnati. Good afternoon, Shardul, Chaitanya Vyas, Elise, Bhavya Phule, Rohini Pajbhai, Sahil Singh, Dinesh Soni, Narayan Pandey, Arun Sable. Good afternoon to all of you. So we already started the lesson here. In that yesterday we are discussing about carbon cycle. Okay, that is biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycle. Now, biogeochemical cycle. Now, what is this biogeochemical cycle? Means chemical in its element form, how it transfers, how it passes into biological world, that is plants and animal, that is biotic component, and how it gets transferred in abiotic component like water, air, soil. Okay, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and atmosphere. That is biogeochemical cycle. Till now we studied biogeochemical cycle of nitrogen. We studied biogeochemical how it gets transferred in the living world. That we discussed. That is very simple. You know that the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air, it is 0.03%. It is used by the plants in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so it is going in the biological world, that is plants. Plant, it is using carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, this carbon dioxide enters the leaves through stomata. Stomata, these are present on the underside of the leaves. Water, it is absorbed by the roots. It is passing into the stem, from stem to the branches and then to the leaves. Carbon dioxide and water combines in the presence of sunlight, which is trapped by chlorophyll to give out oxygen gas, and glucose is prepared. Food is prepared in this process. This we already studied. Now you know that all the animals, directly or indirectly, they are depending on the plants for food. So these carbon compounds, it is going to the plants and then to the animals. Herbivores, they are directly depending on plants for food. Carnivores, they are eating herbivores. So carbon compound from herbivores is going into carnivores. And omnivores, they are eating plants as well as animals. So they are getting directly from plants as well as from other small herbivorous animals. So like that, this carbon dioxide, it is going in biological world. That is plants and animals. Now you are going on making this carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide will become 0% here. But it is not happening because after the death of these plants and animals, their dead body, it is mixing up with the soil. In the soil, we will find decomposition of their dead body takes place. That is, the dead body, it is converted into organic matter, mineral, which makes the soil fertile. There are some bacteria which releases the carbon dioxide back into the air. Okay, like that we will find in biological world this carbon, it is circulated. It is transferred in the biotic component, that is plant and animals. Okay, but what about geological world? What about the other spheres of the earth? That is hydrosphere, lithosphere, and atmosphere. Okay, so we will find that carbon dioxide is there in the air 0.03%. Okay, Now it reacts with water to form carbonic acid, H2CO3. Okay, this carbon dioxide in the air reacts with water to form carbonic acid. Okay, you are taking this cool drink. You know, in cool drink also we will find some sort Coca-Cola, Pepsi, okay, Sprite. Now we find that what is there inside this? The carbon dioxide is there dissolved under pressure. This carbon dioxide is reacting with water to form carbonic acid, and that gives that cold drink tangy taste. Okay, and that is the reason that when you open the lid with the lid opener, the gas first it is coming with pressure outside. Okay, bubbles of the gas. Okay, so that is carbon dioxide coming with pressure outside, isn't it? So that carbon dioxide in the air, it reacts with water to form carbonic acid. Okay, now when this carbonic acid fall down on the rocks, you know rocks are made up of minerals. What they will do? They will disintegrate this rock. Disintegrate means they will break these rocks. Okay, these rocks will break due to these acids. Acids will react this with minerals of the rock, and we will find these rocks break down into further compounds, carbonates. Then you know that when it rains, what happens? When it rains, you know that the rainwater flows along the land, takes away soil, minerals, whatever salts with it, and that gets mixed in the water bodies. It may be a lake, river, pond. Okay, so we will find these compounds which are formed after reaction of these carbonic acid with the minerals of the salts, they flow along with the soil, along with the water. Okay, and you know that that is also called soil erosion. You know that if this soil is not bind to the roots, you know roots they are holding this soil very firmly. That's why one of the important functions of the roots trees is to prevent soil erosion. Whenever there is rain, whenever there is high speed wind, high speed water flowing, lot of open soil gets washed away by this flow of wind and water. That is known as soil erosion. That's why it is said to grow more and more trees, more and more trees. These trees, along with doing lots of function, it's also holding the soil very firmly. It will not allow this soil to blow away by the force of wind and water. And soil is very important natural resource, isn't it? You know, for formation of little soil it took millions of years. Soil was formed by the process known as weathering. Okay. So by the process of weathering, these rocks they got converted into soil. And this soil is very precious. It is home for many living things. In fact, more living things they are living in the soil as compared to the living things on the surface of the soil. Soil is very precious. It is having underground, you know that many minerals are there that are very important. Many underground water gets stored in the soil. It's an important natural resource. And it is very important to save this soil. Should not, that's why grow more and more trees to bind this soil firmly. Instead of what will happen? The flow of wind and water otherwise will take this soil in the river bodies. So whatever you will find compounds which are formed by the disintegration of minerals in the rock by this carbonic acid, these minerals by soil erosion go along with the soil. They go along with the soil, where they will go in your bodies. Okay, they will go in your bodies, and after going in your bodies, what will happen? After going in your bodies, they will go at the bottom of the river body by the process of sedimentation. Being heavier, it will go and it will settle at the bottom of the river bodies. Okay, it will settle at the bottom of the river body and they will form a layer at the bottom of the river body. Layer of which rock? Limestone. Okay, this layer of limestone at the bottom of river body will be formed due to these chemicals which are formed by the reaction of minerals of rock with carbonic acids. These carbonates will go along with the soil with the flow of wind and water by the process known as soil erosion, and after going there will mix up with the water of the river bodies, will settle at the bottom and they will form a layer of limestone at the bottom of the river bodies. Okay. Then what will happen? Our earth, it is not made up of a single large plate. It is made up of many small, 7 small plates, tectonic plates are there. They are always floating. Okay, when they collide with each other, क्या होता है? जब एक दूसरे को टकरा देते हैं, when these tectonic plates they collide with each other, what happens? Give the answer. When these tectonic plates collide each other, what happens? बताइए क्या होता है? क्या होता है? When these tectonic plates they collide with each other, what happens? What happens? Earthquake. शार्दुल भट्ट के वेरी करेक्ट आंसर. वेरी गुड बेटा. भूकंप आता है. जब ये एक दूसरे को टकराएंगे तो भूकंप आता है. जैसे सागर के अंदर में टकरा दिए तो क्या होगा? If they collide with each other, if they dash with each other inside the under the sea, what will happen? अगर सागर के अंदर में टकरा दिए तो क्या आएगा? What will happen if they collide inside the sea, under the sea? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Then tsunami. Elias gave very correct answer. Tsunami आ जाएंगे, है ना? तो like that we will find these plates, they are not stable. They are not at one place, but they are moving. And when they move, there are the chances that they may collide with each other. Okay, so such gaps are there. So what will happen? In these gaps, this limestone will go. Okay, this limestone will go in this gap, and inside it is very high temperature, very high pressure. Okay, very high temperature and very high pressure is there. So due to what happened? If the pressure is very high inside the earth, what will happen? Due to high pressure, these molten things, molten rocks inside the earth will erupt outside the earth. That we call it as a lava. When these rocks in melted form, in molten form, melted rocks, and there is high pressure and temperature is there inside the earth, very high pressure is there, then what will happen? Due to very high pressure, this molten rock, they are coming outside the earth. जैसे हम दिवाली के समय में अनार फोड़ते हैं, ऐसा लगाया अनार लगाए तो बराबर क्या होता है? कभी से बाहर निकलता है क्या? सुंदर फवारा ऐसा, जैसे कि हमारे सर्कल के फाउंटेन में पानी का फुहारा निकल रहा है, वैसे अनार से फुहारा निकलता है, वैसे ही अगर धरती के अंदर का प्रेशर बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया और बहुत ज्यादा तापमान से ये जो रॉक से पिघल गए, उसको क्या कहते हैं, मैग्मा, और प्रेशर से बाहर निकलते हैं, जैसा कि फाउंटेन से पानी निकल रहा हो, जैसे कि अनार से रंग बिरंगे रंग के अंगारे निकल रहे हैं, इस तरह से वो निकलता है। वो बाहर निकला ऐसा कि उसके साथ हवा में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भी जमता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भी उसके साथ जमता है। कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज ऑल्सो गेटिंग outside, it is getting mixed with the air. This is how in geological world abiotic component carbon dioxide passes. How it passes? It reacts with water to form carbonic acid. When this carbonic acid falls on the rocks, they react with the minerals of the rocks, they form the different soils and they mix with the soil, and due to the erosion, with the flow of the wind and water, when this soil blow away and get mixed with the water in the water bodies, what will happen? These all minerals, all compounds will settle at the bottom of the river body and will form the rock, that is limestone. And when this limestone go inside the earth, in between the gaps of the tectonic plates, due to high pressure and temperature, they come out in the form of lava. Okay, so this is how these carbon compounds, we already studied how it is get transferred by the process of photosynthesis in plants, and from plants how it gets transferred to the animals. This is how it gets transferred in this non-living world. Okay, इस तरह से वो हमारे non-living world में भी ट्रांसफर होते हैं। लिविंग वर्ल्ड में कैसे होते हैं मैंने बताया है। कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है हवा में 0.03% है। आपने बचपन में पढ़ा है फोटोसिंथेसिस। फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रकाश संश्लेषण प्रक्रिया में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का यूज होता है और पेड़ पौधे अपना खाना बनाते हैं। इस प्रक्रिया में वो ऑक्सीजन भी छोड़ते हैं हवा में। और बाकी सभी जीव खाने के लिए किस पे निर्भर है? All living things for food is depending on plants. Therefore, plants are called producers. Herbivores, they are directly eating plants. But what about carnivores? They are eating herbivores. Herbivores are eating plants. So indirectly, carnivores are also eating plants. And omnivores, they are eating directly as well as indirectly. So entire animal world is depending for food on plants. Entire animal world is depending for oxygen on plants. So it is said, grow more and more trees, grow more and more plants. This is the reason, and this is how by the process of photosynthesis from plants to the animal, entire carbon dioxide gets circulated, gets transferred in living world. Non-living world, I have already told you now. One of the ways is, there are many ways by which it gets transferred in non-living world. But one of the ways is this reaction of water with carbon dioxide to form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid gets with the minerals in the rocks on the land to form different carbon compounds. They get washed away by wind and water. They get mixed in the water of the river bodies, get settled, form rocks, and when these rocks under high pressure and temperature inside the earth comes out in the form of lava, again this carbon dioxide is going back into the air. हाँ बोला? ठीक ठीक। सो इस तरह से अबायोटिक कंपोनेंट, अबायोटिक कंपोनेंट मीन्स नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स में भी एक अनेक तरीके हैं। ये एक तरीका है जिसका कार्बन कंपाउंड्स का सर्कुलेशन होता है, समझ गए? देन अदर वे इज आल्सो देयर। फॉर एग्जांपल, you know that these trees, when they fall down, okay, due to one reason or another, what will happen? They get buried inside the earth. The layer of the earth is formed on these trees. Okay, and what will happen? All the living things, when they die, they get mixed up in the soil, they get buried inside the earth under high pressure and temperature. You know that millions of years ago, this land was covered with lot of jungle were there. When this jungle they fell down, they got buried inside the, okay. Then again they fell down, again they got buried inside the, such layers were formed, and with high pressure and temperature, many chemical reactions took place and they got converted into coal. Okay, so this process did not take place in 1 or 2 years, but it took place in millions of years. Okay, like that inside the sea we will find what is formed by the dead remains of living things in the sea. They got settled at the bottom. Now chemical reactions took place millions of years and they got converted into petroleum. Petra means rock, oleum means oil. So we will find that this is how compounds we will find in coal and petroleum products. Okay. So now your other period is there. I will stop here. Now Neelam madam will take maths period. So we will discuss this tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.